Digital wellness, it's a topic many communities are working to learn more about, specifically how we can help people continue to enjoy online media without the anxiety and depression that oftentimes comes along with it. Now, Lutheran Family Services is partnering with SmartGen Society to offer digital wellness services for the community, and SmartGen is ahead of the curve.
But we envision that this is a program that we can, because of the fact that they have created a sense of expertise in this field, the opportunity for this program to grow and flourish at both a regional and a national level and providing access to these services.
These digital wellness services are also meant to teach parents how to support their children in navigating digital spaces as part of their mental health and well-being.